Thank you very much. Don't forget that you can join our VIP Telegram group by accessing the link posted right below this video. And let's start. One moment, guys. Please confirm that you can hear me into the YouTube chat. Okay. Okay, guys, let's start with the gold today, with the price of gold, because we posted a trading signal into the VIP Telegram group today. So we are live here, and here we have the 4-hour chart. The price of gold increases, and we decided earlier to close half of our long position on gold, and the price continues to increase. So our remaining 50% in gold remains active, and it could reach its target today or in the coming days, in the coming week. So gold is bullish, and it could continue to increase as long as it stays right above this medium line here. So the price has decreased from right below the weekly R1, below 17.99. It has retested the medium line, and now it could jump right above the weekly resistance to register a new higher high before it will continue to increase. So as I've told you in my previous live webinars, the bias is bullish on gold after escaping from this range here, after jumping above 1762, after passing above the 50% Fibonacci level here. So the price could still increase within this minor ascending pitchfork, and as you can see here, we have a potential upside target, important upside target here at this warning line, first warning line of the descending pitchfork. The price has managed here to jump to make a valid breakout above this 150% Fibonacci line of the descending pitchfork, which has represented an important dynamic resistance, and now is expected to continue to increase towards the warning line. Okay, so that's why we decided today to go long again on gold. So we are bullish on gold. So we still have 50%, as you can see here in our real account, that we still have a long position on gold. We closed at half, and we still have an open position on the pound versus the US dollar, and we still have also a pending order on euro versus the US dollar. So if you still want to catch that signal on euro versus the US dollar, you can join our VIP Telegram group. Okay, so that's it here for gold. As long as it stays right above this medium line, which it has represented a dynamic resistance, you can see that the price has reached this medium line, has decreased, but now it has stabilized it above it, and it could continue to go higher. No, the long opportunity is already gone, guys, for now, and you should wait for another one. Maybe if the price makes a new higher high here to stabilize right above the weekly pivot before you'll decide to go long again. And if we'll have new long entries, new buying opportunities here, we will send these into the Telegram groups, into the VIP Telegram group, guys. Okay, let's continue. So we are bullish here on gold, GBP versus the US dollar. As I've told you, we have a long position here as well. The price has decreased a little, as you can see here, but the bias remains bullish, the outlook remains bullish after escaping from this down channel, from this major down channel. So it could come back higher and it could resume its growth. Let's draw something here, 1.1, 2, and 3, guys. So here we have an ascending pitchfork, and as long as the price stays within this pitchfork body, the bias is bullish and the GBP versus the US dollar could continue to increase. As you can see here, the price has retested the lower medium line of the ascending pitchfork, confirming this pitchfork. So as long as it stays right above this lower medium line inside of the ascending pitchfork body, the bias is bullish and the GBP versus the US dollar could continue to increase. And let's take a look also, guys, on the DXY, because it's very important for you to understand why the US dollar continues to drop, to depreciate in the short term versus the other major currencies. So as you can see here, the DXY, the US dollar index, drops right now. That's why the dollar depreciates right now. We had a minor rebound here, but as I've told you on Tuesday in my previous live webinar, the price could increase a little, but the bias is still bearish, and if the dollar index will resume its drop, so you make a valid breakdown here below the support levels, then it could continue to drop. So a further drop here registered by the DXY could signal that the dollar could depreciate further. Okay, so we could expect the euro versus the US dollar to increase. The GBP versus the US dollar may increase as well. The US dollar versus the Swiss franc could continue to drop, and so on. So, and also the price of gold, as I've shown you earlier, on gold. So gold rallies, edges higher right now only because the DXY drops. Okay, so a further drop could push the price of gold higher, could push the euro versus the US dollar higher. Okay, so it's very important for you to understand why the dollar drops, depreciates right now, and you can use this correlation when in your trades. Okay, and let's take a look also on the economic calendar, and let's take a look here. The US is to release its flash manufacturing PMI later, also the flash services PMI and the new home sales. So let's see how the DXY reacts right after the US releases these important economic data. Okay, and you should know that if the US data will disappoint today, if we'll have poor data here reported by these economic indicators, then the DXY should drop significantly in the short term here. Okay, the link in the description is not working to join VIP Telegram group. I will send you the link into the free Telegram group, or you can access the link. I will show you the link here, guys. One moment. So here you have the link. If you want to join our Telegram, our VIP Telegram group, Learn to Trade Go Premium. Okay, and I will send it to you guys right after this webinar, this live webinar. So Learn to Trade Go Premium, and you can join our VIP Telegram group. Okay, so if the US data will disappoint later at 2:45 p.m. UK time, then the DXY could continue to drop, and the further drop here will signal that the US dollar will decrease as well. So here we have an important static support, and if the price will drop right below it, stabilize below it, if you have a bearish candle here on the 4-hour chart, then the DXY could continue to drop. Okay, let's take a look also. Yes, we will talk also, thank you guys for all your messages. Yeah, we will talk also about the DAX 30, we will talk about the US 30, about the Bitcoin. We have an amazing drop there, about EuroCAD. Thank you guys. Okay, so let's move on and let's take a look on DAX. So one moment, guys. So as I've told you in my previous webinars or in my live sessions, so DAX remains bullish after reaching a new historical high here at 15,521.6 level, but unfortunately, and as you can see here, it has failed here to stabilize right above a former historical high, all-time high. Also, it has failed here to stabilize right above the weekly pivot. Now it has found a temporary support here at 15,157. It has retested the weekly support, and now if it will make a valid breakdown here, maybe something like this, to retest the static support and maybe to close right below this immediate low, then it could continue to drop in the short term. But we still need confirmation here, as the price is still located right above this static support. Yes, I will look on USD versus the Swiss franc as well. Thank you for your messages. So we still have to wait for a confirmation here, because the price moves sideways. It has registered here, as you can see, in this support area. It has printed a bullish engulfing, so we need something like a valid breakdown, and we need a new lower low, a candle, the price to close right below this former low before it will confirm maybe a further drop here. Okay, and if we'll take a look here on the daily chart, I've posted a video analysis the previous days on DAX, and I've said that we have here a potential reversal candlestick pattern, a bearish harami. You can see that the price has increased. We have here a bullish candle, and then the price has opened with a gap down. This candle here was confirmed by another bearish candle, so a new lower low here could signal a potential correction here on DAX. Okay, and as I've told you here, the bias is still bullish. Okay, and if it will fail to close and stabilize right below 15,157, if it will stay right below the former low to consolidate here, and if it will jump above the weekly pivot, then it could continue to increase. Let's take a look, guys, also on Bitcoin. And as you already know from my analysis, from my live webinars, this drop on Bitcoin was somehow expected. Okay, so I've told you in the last weeks that the price of Bitcoin has developed here a major rising wedge pattern, reversal pattern, guys, right? And here we had a breakdown. The price has increased a little here to retest. One moment. So the price has decreased, has found support here at 51,541. It has increased a little to retest this warning line, and now it has resumed its drop. And if we will use here the weekly pivots, you can see that the price has decreased, has increased a little to retest the weekly pivot at 57,546 level, and now it has decreased aggressively. So this potential reversal here was expected after the price has started developing this rising wedge, this potential reversal pattern, right? And you can see here the price has found strong resistance around the weekly pivot here. It has failed to stabilize right above a former historical high after it has reached a new all-time high. Now we have a corrective phase, and maybe you are wondering how long this corrective phase could be. So let's take a look on the 4-hour chart, maybe for better understanding. So here we have the 4-hour chart. So breakdown, retest of the rising wedge support of the uptrend line, the weekly pivot retest, and then the price has decreased, and here we had a critical support at this lower low, 51,541, and this breakdown today here in the early morning, so the price has managed to close right below this former low, has activated a broader drop, and now the price has increased a little only to retest the weekly support, broken support, the S1, and now it could continue to drop. Okay, so the bias is bearish on Bitcoin in the short term, even if the price maybe will come back here maybe to retest this former support before it will continue to drop. So the bias is bearish, and we can draw, guys, also, I don't know if this downtrend line will help us, but personally I believe that the price of Bitcoin could continue to decrease as long as it stays right below this former low. Now the support has turned into resistance as long as it stays right below the S1, and technically we have a potential downside target around S2, around 42,021, because we have here a static support, a former low here, so the price could continue to drop towards these levels here unless the price will develop a potential rebound here, a potential reversal pattern which will signal a potential rebound. So the bias is bearish here in the short term. Okay, and this drop, this corrective phase, is somehow natural after the impressive upside movement, yeah guys, registered in the last year. Okay, so the price could decrease a little and then to try to rebound to come back higher. Okay, so let's continue and let me take a look. Okay, US 30, the Dow Jones. Let's take a look here on the 4-hour chart. So you should know that the bias remains bullish despite any temporary retreats. As you can see, we have a strong uptrend here and maybe a temporary decrease. So a temporary decrease here on the Dow Jones Industrial Average on the US 30 could bring us a new long opportunity. And as you can see here, the index hovers right above the 23.6 Fibonacci level, right above the weekly support S1. A potential drop here, a new lower low, something like this, could signal a further decline in the short term. But as I've told you, personally I'm waiting for a retreat here only to identify a new long opportunity, a buying opportunity, a long entry. Okay, so we have here a descending pitchfork 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, here the price has failed to retest the upper medium line. Personally, I would have liked to see something like a false breakout, the price to jump above it, to close below it, maybe to test, to retest before it will drop. But if the dollar, the US dollar, if the US dollar will continue to decrease, to depreciate, then this index could jump higher again after ending its temporary and minor retreat correction. Okay, so it could move sideways here and then to make a valid breakout and to continue higher. And if the Dow Jones will fail here to approach to reach the medium line of the descending pitchfork, and if it will jump above the upper medium line, and if it will validate a valid breakout here, then it should continue to increase. So the bias is still bullish here on this index. And as I've told you, we could have a minor decrease here only if the price will close here right below this immediate low, 33,697. But as I've told you, the decrease, the retreat could be only a temporary one. Okay guys, let me take a look again on gold, because I've seen some messages here. And let me take a look here as well. And let's refresh the economic calendar. But as I've told you earlier, as long as the price stays right above the medium line, the bias is still bullish on gold. Okay. Yeah, the price approaches our break even, but don't worry guys, we already closed half of this position in profit. The price could retest the medium line before jumping higher, or if the price will fail to stabilize right above the medium line, and if it will drop, stabilize right below the medium line, then we may have a temporary decrease here registered by gold. this scenario could take shape. We may have a potential decrease here on gold only if the US dollar will jump higher after the US data. Okay, let me take a look also on the DXY. Yeah, the DXY has rebounded a little here. Let me take a look on the 1 hour. Yeah, we have right now a bullish candle here from this support area, but as I've told you earlier, if the DXY will drop and close right below the former low, below 90.85, then it could continue to drop, and then gold, the price of gold could continue to increase. Okay, let me take a look on your messages, guys. USD versus the Swiss franc. Okay, let's go on the 4-hour chart. So here as well, the bias is bearish as long as the price stays right below this downtrend line, and if the price US dollar versus the Swiss franc will drop, yes guys, this is my pleasure. So if the price will drop again right below this lower medium line of the descending pitchfork, you can see that the price has dropped and it has found support right below this lower medium line, but you can see that it has increased a little. It has failed here to stabilize right above the weekly S1. It has failed to retest the downtrend line, and now if it will drop and stabilize to register a valid breakdown below the lower medium line, to drop below it, to retest it, maybe to make a new lower low, to drop below this former low, then it could continue to drop, and this pair will continue to drop if the US dollar index, the DXY, will continue to drop. Okay, so the bias here in the short term remains bearish, and this pair, the price could continue to drop if the price will drop and close right below 0.9128, guys. A new lower low, breakdown below the S2, maybe below the 50% retracement level, will signal that the price will continue to drop. Okay, and we could search for long entries only if the price will maybe make only a false breakdown right below this former low, below S2, if it will fail to stabilize right below the lower medium line, and only if the price makes a valid breakout here above the downtrend line, maybe retest it, maybe if it will make false breakdowns below this support zone, maybe a new higher high, then we could search for long entries, but we don't have something like this right now, and as I've told you, the bias is bearish here. Okay, so you can send an email to support if you want more details about the managed account. And let's continue. Let me take a look, guys, on your messages, because yeah, we have a lot of messages here. Thank you guys for joining me here, and I will try to answer to your questions. Euro versus the Canadian dollar. Let me take a look on the euro versus the Canadian dollar. So let me take a look here on the daily. So the price is still located right below a downtrend line here. It has registered the false breakout here above it, above the weekly R2. It has increased a little to retest the medium line of the ascending pitchfork, and now it could approach and reach the downtrend line again, and let's take a look on the 4-hour. So we had a false breakout here above the weekly R2, above the downtrend line. So this is our downtrend line, and as long as the price stays right below the downtrend line, we could still search for short entries, for selling opportunities. Yes, I will take a look on the GBP versus the New Zealand dollar. Thank you for your message. Okay, so as long as the price stays right below this one here, the bias is still bearish, and personally I've drawn here an ascending pitchfork. You can see that the price has retested the lower medium line, has confirmed the pitchfork, it has increased it, has jumped above the medium line, but unfortunately it has failed here to stabilize right above. Yes, we will talk about oil as well. Thank you guys. And here, its failure to stabilize right above the upper medium line signals that the pair is exhausted here in the short term. The buyers are exhausted around this downtrend line, and another here false breakout or failure to come back above this upper medium line, followed by a drop right below the medium line of the ascending pitchfork, could signal a potential drop here on the euro versus the Canadian dollar. Okay, so personally I'm still bearish here on this one, and personally I could think at a long entry, maybe if the price, one moment, if the price jumps and stabilizes right above the downtrend line, maybe something like this, and if it will make here a new higher high to jump above the former high and to stabilize right above the uptrend, the upside line, sorry, of the ascending pitchfork, then I could think that this pair could continue to increase, but personally I'm still waiting for confirmation here. And as long as the price stays right below this one, I could search for short entries. Maybe after the price will drop below the medium line, below these former lows, then I could go short again. Okay, let me take a look on the GBP versus the New Zealand dollar. Okay, I will delete this one from here. I've had a setup here. The price has decreased, has dropped much below my target. So this one is still bearish. Okay, so we had here, as you can see, we had a reversal pattern, a double top, right? Personally, I've drawn this descending pitchfork here. I have selected 1, 2, and 3 points, 3 pivots. The price has decreased a little, has increased, has retested the upper medium line, has developed, has printed this reversal pattern here, double top. Okay, so that's why I've had here a setup. After the price has confirmed and after the price has activated this double top, after it has dropped right below 1.9588. Okay, the price has increased a little to retest this one, this neckline, and then it has continued to drop. Also, it was trapped here within a down channel, and personally I believe that as long as the price stays below this downtrend line, the bias is bearish. And very important, the price could stabilize right below the medium line of the descending pitchfork here, which could signal a potential drop towards this former low, towards the weekly S1. Okay, so the bias is bearish here as well on the GBP versus the New Zealand dollar. And as you can see, the New Zealand dollar is very strong in the short term. It has increased versus the dollar, it has increased versus the euro, and so on versus the other currencies. Okay, so we had here only a temporary rebound before the price could drop further, and if it will close and stabilize right below 1.9284, below the medium line of the major descending pitchfork, it could drop with a potential target at this former low. And the price has increased here only because the price has developed here a pin bar, a hammer, confirmed by a strong bullish candle, so that's why we had a temporary rebound here. Okay, gold, let me take a look again. Yeah, gold closed at break even. Our remaining 50% in the long position opened today and posted in the VIP Telegram group. So if you want to get all our signals, you can join our VIP Telegram group. Okay, let me take a look here. Okay, let's take a look again on gold very quick. And as I've told you, the price could only retest the medium line before it resumes its growth, and if it fails to stay right above the medium line, if it drops right below it again, test, retest, false breakouts, then the price could drop in the short term. And as I've told you, this scenario could take shape only if the US dollar will start increasing again, if the DXY, the US dollar index, will increase. And in the coming minutes we'll talk about euro versus the US dollar and also about the US oil. Let's start with US oil, and I will talk about euro dollar right after this one here. So US oil has failed here to stabilize right above the medium line of the standing pitchfork, and now is located right below the weekly pivot. It has registered a strong drop, and it could decrease here. It could drop further if the US dollar will increase in the coming days, in the upcoming days. So a potential rally registered by the US dollar in the upcoming days could bring us a potential decrease here on the US oil. But one moment guys, if the price will come back above this weekly pivot and right above the medium line to retest it, to stabilize right above it, then it could continue to increase and to resume its rebound here. Okay, because you can see here that the price has failed to confirm a corrective phase, a strong corrective phase, after failing to stabilize right below 23.6 retracement level. It has failed here to stabilize right below the lower medium line of the descending pitchfork, test, retest, false breakdowns with great separations. That's why we had this rally here, this upside movement in the short term. The price has jumped above the medium line. It has failed here to stabilize right above it, but as I've told you, and let's draw here something, Fibonacci retracement. So the price has retreated, it has found support on the 50% retracement level, and as I've told you, if the price will come back above the medium line to stabilize right above it, then it could continue to increase. Okay, so the bias is still bullish despite this temporary retreat. Okay, so we have an important uptrend here. The price has decreased, has failed here to stabilize right below the 23.6, signaling that the corrective phase, the correction, the retreat is over, and that the US oil could start increasing again. So this one here could be only a temporary drop, a temporary retreat before the price will jump higher again. And let's draw here 1, 2, and 3. And maybe we'll have a long entry, a new buying opportunity here on the US oil if the price here fails to reach this medium line of the descending pitchfork of this new one. Let's select another color. Okay, so here we have the upper medium line. The price has decreased, has failed to reach the medium line, right, of the minor descending pitchfork. And if it will move sideways, if it will jump above the medium line of the former descending pitchfork, and something like this, as I've shown you earlier, and if it will register a valid breakout above this upper medium line of the descending pitchfork without reaching the medium line, then we may have a new long entry here on the US oil. But let's wait and see how the price reacts in the short term. If it stabilizes right below the medium line of the major descending pitchfork, then it could decrease and maybe it will reach the medium line in the short term before turning to the upside again. Let's see, and we have to wait for confirmations here right after this important drop here, okay, after its failure to stabilize right above the medium line, right? So if we'll have new setups here, new opportunities, we will send these into the VIP Telegram group. So don't hesitate to join our VIP Telegram group, guys. Euro versus the US dollar. So I sent you today into the Telegram groups, I've sent you a video analysis, a daily forecast. Let's start with the daily here. And as you can see here on the daily chart, the price has decreased, has found support on the 50% Fibonacci line of the major descending pitchfork. It has rebounded and now it goes higher. We have this swing higher only because the DXY, the US dollar index, has decreased. Okay, so we have a strong negative correlation between the DXY and the euro versus the US dollar. So you can use this correlation in your trading activity. So if the DXY will continue to drop, then the euro versus the US dollar will continue to increase, right? And if the DXY, the US dollar index, will start increasing again, will develop a new leg higher, then the euro versus the US dollar may drop, and it should drop. Okay, so now the price approaches this downtrend line, also the upside 50% Fibonacci line, after retesting here this upper medium line. And let's go on the 4-hour chart. As I've told you, the price has decreased a little here on the 4-hour chart to test and retest this broken upper medium line of the ascending pitchfork. And now it's trapped within a minor range here. Its failure to stabilize right below the R1 or to come back within the ascending pitchfork's body shows us that we have strong buyers here on the euro versus the US dollar. And if the DXY, the US dollar index, will continue to drop, then the pair should escape from this range, from this narrow range, from this minor range, from this pattern. This pattern is seen as a continuation pattern here on this pair. So if we'll have here a valid breakout, then the price could continue to increase. Okay, and let's take a look, guys, on the economic calendar, because the US data is published. Okay, so flash manufacturing PMI. The specialists, the economists, have expected an increase from 59.1 to 60.6. Unfortunately, the indicator failed to reach 60.9 expectation estimates. On the other hand, the flash services PMI has continued to increase, reaching the 63.1 level, jumping far above 61.6 expectations expected, indicating that the US services sector resumes its expansion. And let's take a look here, and let's go on the 1 hour, or let's go even, and let's select a 30 minutes chart, and let's see how the price reacts here. So we are right at the weekly R2. The price has found temporary resistance, but as I told you earlier, something like this, a new higher high, valid breakout, jump above it, retest, could signal a further increase. And let's take a look also on the DXY. I believe we have little movement here as well. Right after the US data was reported, was published, the US is will publish also the new home sale, sorry, but I don't believe that this one will have a high impact. Yes, guys, we have a pending order. I've sent the signal into the VIP Telegram group earlier today, so we still have a pending order on the euro versus the US dollar. And yes, the euro versus the US dollar might stay open over the weekend. Yes, it could stay open over the weekend, because the price could decrease a little maybe after the US data, and could maybe continue to move sideways within this minor range before it will register an upside breakout or a downside breakout. Okay, so we have a good opportunity here on the euro versus the US dollar after the price escapes from this range. Okay, yes, if it hits the entry level, yes, it will remain open over the weekend. Okay, guys. Okay, if you have any questions, more questions, if you want me to look on other markets, now you have a good moment to write your message. Let me take a look on your messages. So we talked about DAX, US 30, US dollar versus the Swiss franc, Euro CAD, okay. As I've told you guys, if you want more details about the managed account, you can send an email to support, and they will come back with more details, and I will send you guys also the VIP Telegram group if you want to join it. One moment, I'm still waiting here for confirmation on euro versus the US dollar, and unfortunately the price it has changed a little. One moment, and I will send you here into the chat. So here you have the link. If you want to join our VIP Telegram group, okay? Yeah, if the price fails to reach our entry on the euro versus the US dollar, yeah, but personally I still believe, as you can see here, the price failed to drop aggressively right after the US data, so it could still increase and maybe it will register a valid breakout and it might continue to increase, okay? But here on the 1 hour you can see that the price has reached the weekly resistance R2, so even if we'll have a temporary decrease, the price could still escape from this pattern to register an upside breakout, and it could continue to increase. Okay guys, so I will send you the link again into the chat so you can join our VIP Telegram group if you want full services, if you want to receive all our signals, and if you want to join all our live webinars, live trading webinars. Today we didn't want to open a trade only because it's Friday, but in our upcoming webinars on Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday we will open trades for sure live into our webinars. Okay, euro versus the GBP. No, we didn't talk about this one. Thank you Sam. Okay, euro versus the GBP. Let's take a look here on the 4 hour, and let's start with daily because I want to show you something. So let's delete this from here, and as you can see here we had a strong drop here on the euro versus the GBP versus the pound. It has dropped within this descending pitchfork drop. The price has reached the medium line, it has increased, it has registered only a false breakout with great separation above this upper medium line, and then it has continued to drop, and here it was almost to reach the lower medium line, the second target. It has failed to approach again this lower medium line. Now it has jumped above the medium line of the descending pitchfork, signaling a potential reversal here, a potential upside movement, leg higher. Also you can see here that the price has decreased, and we have here a strong support area, and on this support area the price has developed this major bullish engulfing pattern, candlestick pattern. So a strong bullish candle followed by another and confirmed by another bullish candle here on the daily chart, a valid breakout above the medium line. The price has retested here the medium line, and now it could continue to increase in the short term, okay, and it could approach here As you can see, it's traded right above the 23.6, and it could approach the 38.2 retracement level, also the upper medium line of the descending pitchfork. And let's take a look also on the 4-hour chart. So here we have the breakout, retest, and now is pressuring the weekly resistance R1 at 0.8703. Sorry guys. And if it will stabilize right above it and to close right above this former high, one moment, if it will do something like this, a new higher high, to register a new higher high, then it could continue to increase. Okay, so right now it's traded near resistance, and maybe we will not have an upside breakout or a new higher high until the coming days, maybe in the coming week. So maybe we should wait here for confirmation before we'll jump and look for buying entries, opportunities. Also, because I've drawn here 1, 2, and 3, we have an ascending pitchfork. The price has decreased, and as you can see here, the medium line of this ascending pitchfork acts as a strong dynamic resistance, right? Test, retest, only false breakouts here. So we really need here a valid breakout before the price continues to increase. So as long as the price stays right below the medium line, it's risky to go long, because the price could only test, retest again the medium line, could register only false breakouts above it, and then to drop again, right? So we still need confirmation here, to wait for confirmation. Okay guys, at the end of this live webinar, I will take a look again on the Bitcoin, only because someone wanted me to look again on Bitcoin. We talked about Bitcoin, but so as I've told you earlier, this drop is natural. It was expected, somehow expected, after the price's failure here to approach the upside line of the rising wedge of this channel. Also after its failure to stabilize above this former historical high. So this valid breakdown here from this rising wedge, retest here of the weekly pivot, it has signaled potential further drop. Now is located right below the weekly support as one retest, and as long as it stays somewhere maybe below the 51,541 former support, the support has turned it into a resistance. Maybe even if it will move sideways, it could still decrease in the short term. Okay, so right now the bias is bearish on Bitcoin, and personally I want to see something like this, maybe the price to drop towards this support area, and here to develop. No, it is not a selling opportunity from here, guys, because the bias is still bullish on the long term, right? So we have a strong uptrend, and this could be only a temporary decrease. Okay, so we had a selling opportunity, but not from here. Even if the price, personally I'm still expecting the price to decrease a little in the short term, because I'm not expecting an important increase right from here. Okay, so personally I would like to see maybe a potential drop towards this support area, and here maybe to develop a reversal pattern. Okay, a false breakdown with great separation, a major bullish engulfing, a double bottom, inverse head and shoulders, or any other reversal pattern before it will start increasing again. Okay, and as I've told you earlier, as long as the price stays below this downtrend line, the bias is bearish. Okay, and maybe a potential sideways movement here, a potential range, a potential reversal pattern in this area could bring us new long opportunities, new long entries. Okay, so that's it here, and as long as it stays right below this weekly support, the bias is bearish. This could be only a retest before the price decreases again. And let's draw another downtrend line here. So as long as it stays below this immediate downtrend line, personally I will not go long. Okay, and let's take a look also on Ether. So Ether as well, as you already know from my previous live webinars and video analyses, here the R1 weekly resistance 2542.13 represents a strong upside resistance. Okay, and I've told you that only a valid breakout above this upside line of the ascending channel, a valid breakout above this R1 could really indicate a further increase here registered by Ethereum. And Ethereum has decreased aggressively in the last hours only because the price of Bitcoin has plunged, has started, and it has extended its sell-off. Okay, so if the price of Bitcoin will continue to drop, then personally I'm expecting the Ether to decrease maybe towards this area, towards this support area again. Okay, so okay guys, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me here at this live webinar, and don't forget to visit our website, Learn to Trade, for more services, for educational materials. You can subscribe, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you will receive a notification, you will be notified every time we will go live, or every time we will upload a new trading tutorial, or every time we will upload and post market analysis, video analysis. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can comment, you can share our videos, and here we have this link. You can join our VIP Telegram group